Hey everyone, and welcome. So in this explainer, we're taking a look at what is probably the most fascinating and complex topic in the universe, which is ourselves. It's basically a deep dive into the paradox of human nature. We're going to explore our incredible vulnerabilities and how they are completely intertwined with our massive potential as the universe's most delicate yet most needy fruit. Okay, let's dive into this with Section 1, the most special flower in the garden, the metaphor of the garden. I want you to picture a vast, absolutely stunning garden. I mean, we're talking millions of plants, towering trees, vines, the whole shebang. But right in the middle of this immense space, there is just one single flower that is entirely different. It doesn't just sit there and bloom. This flower can actually smell its own scent. It can literally feel gratitude and thank the gardener. It can even look around and ask, why am I here? What does this garden actually mean? That one hyper-aware little flower? Yeah, that's us. That's humanity. Which obviously makes you wonder, right? Is this tiny single flower actually the most special member of the entire garden? I mean, physically, if you put it next to a giant oak tree, it seems like nothing. A strong gust of wind could just snap it. But its awareness, its ability to actually question its own existence, that kind of expands its reality to encompass the entire universe. This brings us to a fascinating philosophical paradox regarding human nature, the core contradiction of our existence. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the sheer extreme contrast here. Just look at the left side, physical fragility. We are, quite frankly, incredibly delicate. We're needy, we're vulnerable to the elements, and we're highly susceptible to non-existence. But then, glance over at the right side, supreme capacity. We are the ultimate thinking respondents. We're a comprehensive mirror reflecting the cosmos, a literal miracle of creation. So you have the weakest physical body paired with this immense, almost limitless cognitive and spiritual magnitude. It's a wild juxtaposition. To make sense of this, the source text introduces a framework called the 11th truth. Basically, this is a philosophical perspective that defines humanity's completely unique position. It explains this bizarre balance by framing us not just as biological creatures, but as the ultimate, self-aware respondent to the Creator. It's kind of like the master key to understanding why we are the way we are. Let's walk through these bullet points because it perfectly dissects the exact anatomy of our spiritual and mental vastness. First up, we are the most thoughtful respondent to the Creator. We interact with existence itself. Second, we act as a comprehensive mirror, meaning we can reflect massive abstract concepts like mercy and justice on a human scale. Third, we are a beautifully crafted miracle of creation. And finally, the big one, we are the absolute most fragile being, yet we possess the absolute highest capacity. It's brilliant. So the crucial point is this yearning for eternity, the logical conclusion of our immense capacity. Because we have this vast capacity, it creates a really desperate need. Think about it for a second. Animals aren't stressing about what happens after they die, right? They're just living in the now. But humanity, we are severely, deeply affected by the mere idea of non-existence. Because our minds can actually comprehend the concept of eternity, we harbor this deep, infinite longing for permanence. We are literally terrified of just stopping. Which poses a massive philosophical question for us. Would the Creator make a being with infinite needs, wire them with a desperate longing for eternity, only to just deny them the eternal realm they clearly crave? I mean, giving us physical thirst without creating water wouldn't make any sense, right? So giving us a spiritual thirst for eternity without an eternal destination makes just as little sense. And this brilliantly illustrates that our paradoxical nature, being physically tiny but spiritually colossal, isn't some sort of design flaw. It's a deliberate pointer. It only makes sense if we have a higher purpose and an eternal destination. Our fragility isn't a mistake. It's the very thing that proves we're built for something much bigger than this temporary setup. Bringing us to our final reflection, fragility or potential, choosing how we see ourselves. To really ground this, let's look at some ancient wisdom that validates this ultimate purpose. In the Quran, there is a verse that translates to, by the soul and him who proportioned it, and inspired it with its wickedness and its righteousness. It's a powerful, heavy reminder of the deliberate, divine shaping of the human soul. We are intentionally designed with this incredible depth. So as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with something to really chew on. In the rush of your daily life, when you think about who you are, what do you lean on? Do you define yourself more by your fragility, the parts of you that ache, worry, and get tired? Or do you define yourself by your unbelievable potential, that massive capacity to understand the universe and long for eternity? Remember, you are that one hyper-aware flower in the garden. So what are you going to do with that awareness today?